tayo. And 3, 2, 1. Alvin Aguilar, first Filipino Black Belt, URCC President, and my coach, my mentor, my family. Thank you for doing this, Alves. Appreciate
Of
it.
course, anything for you, brother. What's up, guys?
Yeah, okay. Now, I mean, talking before this episode, I told Alves na we could talk about so many things, but like any great story, it has to have a beginning. It has to have a good foundation so that the storyline is clear. And more than anything, we want this episode to be um, a good memory that we could all look back into and say, yes, that happened. Yes, this is how it all began. This is how it started. And for everyone who's training jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts and any other martial arts, I hope the journeys or the story of our journey will help you get better in your training. So, Chief, your journey in martial arts, like the very first martial art, and for me, my personal question is, what influenced you into training martial arts? Because you could have done something else, but Alvin Aguilar decided to train martial arts.
Well, it started with all the martial arts movies I was watching. I always wanted to become. I saw the ninjas. I said, "Wow, these guys are just so fucking awesome. I got to be one of those." And then when I was in school, I was pretty much a hyperactive kid, and I was always happy when I was fighting, but not fighting, but tussling, grappling, or whatever with somebody, and it always was so much fun. So I started karate with the AAK, and I started artist with my father.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, I never stopped. Like even during karate training, when we'd had breaks, I'd look for the older guy and try to fight with him while we had breaks and stuff. There was one time, there's this guy who's about 2 years older than me. I actually never told anyone about this story. We had a break during karate because there's usually a lot of us. So they would take care of the white belts, the black belt, the brown belts, the orange belts, the green belts. They'd have their own time. When we'd be in a break, being little kids, we'd run around, do all sorts of shit. So what I did was I got an older kid, he's about 2 years older than me. I go, hey, let's fight here. He goes, you really want to fight? So he was kicking my ass. Of course, he was 2 years older. Then I got him and I smacked his head against the wall. After that, when he got knocked out, I was like, yeah, I beat him. And then nobody wanted to believe me. So I had to call everybody, look, he's still knocked out. And I just enjoyed all of that so much. So from karate, I did wrestling in the US. After wrestling, we continued my Filipino martial arts. In college, I started Sarian. Sarian.
I was really, really heavy into that. I basically hardly studied, anything else except that. And what helped me in Sarian the most was I was trying to master each and every part of it. Now, every time I'd learn something, I'd try to look for an art where it would come from. So I go to National Bookstore and I bought every fucking book there. Every book. Even Aikido, even the crappy martial arts there. I bought everything. Because I had to make sure that, I knew everything, I learned everything. Because during my time, all of the martial arts everybody would talk about Aikido, Taekwondo, or anything, and I tried to learn everything. I get some friends who were in Taekwondo to help me. Hey, how do you guys kick? Let's spar. I get some boxers to come over, and I did everything. So when I kept doing Sarian, I said, there's so much more to learn here. So I was also doing Arnis at that time. Okay, and from there, I also started doing FMA. Of course, in college. But then there's this time where I was in Green Hills, and then I got a magazine, Squadron Shop.
Squadron, classic.
Exactly. That's where everybody bought all the bootleg tapes, the magazines, the books. So there's an article there about a Kenpo guy who fought Hoyler Gracie. And then he was talking about how he was so dominated and he wasn't able to do anything But he said, but maybe, it's not really that good because we were just grappling. It's like, wow, I was really intrigued by it because according to the article, he just kept getting taken down. He couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever I'd fight in real life, I'd always end up taking the guy down, beating the piss out of him when, what do you call that, from the top. So I said, maybe I should check this out, diba? So by that time, I was a Sarian instructor. So I went to the US. We got in some trouble here, so I decided to lay low in the US for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Some extracurricular activities.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in the States, I'll tell you about when I went to the Gracie Academy. It was so awesome. I mean, I was used to the gyms here. Our gyms here are really underground, has the underground feel. Like, for example, in Sarian, if you're not referred by anybody else there, you can't just walk in and say, diba?
Train ako.
Sino ka? You never come back, diba? What's this? When I was there, everybody was so accommodating. Wow, come in. I was with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
First person I see walking is Hoist Gracie. It's like, wow, this is the guy I saw in the magazine. Wala pa siya ng UFC noon eh.
Yes.
Then later on, Horian came out. Then Horian started talking to me, started talking to my father. So he was so accommodating, such a good salesperson that I signed up for all the classes there. As in lahat ng classes I signed up for. So we did that. And then when I came back home, I started incorporating in Sarian. So when I go against the senior guys, I just take them down and tap them out. And then, but I didn't really tell that many people I was doing Gracie Jiu-Jitsu yet. I just kept it to myself. Because I came from the influence of Robert Cousart, the founder of Sarian, Sir Bob.
Sir Bob.
Sir Bob, yeah. His thing is, don't tell anybody that you train. That's just for you. So you keep it to yourself. And yun na yun. So that's what we were doing. So we were always quiet about it. We never Sarian, if you notice, until now nobody really markets Sarian like openly.
Yes.
Very, very seldom it's there. But it's before talagang you really had to be, referred by somebody else. So anyway, I do that to the other senior instructors. Then later on, there was another senior instructor there na kaano ko lagi. Parang parehong mayabang eh. Ako mayabang din siya. So we know, sino to? Then you'd probably say the same thing, sino to? So when we were doing drills one time. What do you call it? We were sparring, and then and then what he did was this guy kicked me square in the nuts. Boom! I was like, oh my God. And then in Sarian, you're allowed to kick it in the nuts in Sarian.
Yeah.
I thought my soul left me. I thought my balls were totally gone. I'd never have kids anymore. Everything. Grabe ang sakit. I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to beat up this guy after. Ang sakit. So later on, when he kicked me, I caught his foot and I cracked it this way. And then I just spin or else I'd bring home his ankle, diba?
Alam mo ba? This is the exact same story ni Sixto.
That's what we're talking about, Sixto.
And then that was your bond. That was the bond. When after that, this guy, I can get along with this guy.
So we had this. Then all of a sudden we had this thing where I sparred with him in Arnis. And the first time I sparred with him in Arnis, I couldn't hit the motherfucker. So I decided I have to grapple with this guy because he was so good. Yeah, pala, he was taking Kali Ilustrísimo at that time. So I beat his ass grappling, and then he kicked my ass in stick fighting. So we said, okay, let's come up with this alliance. So ever since we came up with that alliance, every time we trained together for Filipino martial arts, we trained together for jiu-jitsu. And then later on when Tuhon Leogahe came in, he gave me access to Tuhon Leogahe. We all became instructors in that also as well. We had a lot of adventures together. So in our journey, we did that. Then we also did Yaoyan together. I became an instructor in Yaoyan. And then in between all of this, I never stopped wrestling. We never stopped boxing. So we just kept on and on and on. I guess it's just like you should never stop learning. Never think that one art encompasses all. And what's the most important is never think that you know everything, because there's so much to learn. that even if you see this technique, for example, this technique of doing this, just doing this, I mean, it just looks so simple, right? You're doing this, but there's so many factors involved there. Like what, for example, when you hit like this, your elbow can't be going up, your shoulders got to be relaxed. I mean, there's so many factors there that sometimes if you do it again, you haven't done it in years, all of a sudden it comes out, hey, ang pangit yan ah. Diba? So you always have to look for a way to improve. And then, you know, we did jiu-jitsu, of course. As you know, we did MMA. We had so many memories creating champions in MMA and creating champions in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, that's basically, you know, now we've created, you know, the largest team in Asia, created more than 1,000 national, international champions, including world champions. We've had people placed in the world also as well, a lot of students. So, you know, I'm very, very happy with what we've done. But, you know, as you know, we're always constantly improving, and we got to take it to the next level always.
Okay. So at least, it was a good, at least now people will see that it's very multifaceted. The training and the journey was multifaceted. It wasn't just one art. And now, ang daming kwento na. Now, from there, let's go back to the Gracie Academy. So once you trained in the Gracie Academy, you got to train with the Gracie family. And then what made you realize that this is good? Okay. There are differentiating factors to this martial art. And I think it's time to bring it home to the Philippines.
Okay. Well, there's several incidents happened. When I went to the Gracie Academy, of course, I was a young funk. I said, you know what? Since I'm a Sarian instructor, I'm the baddest guy here, whatever. I think me and Hoist will just exchange techniques. And then from there, you know. So when I got there, I was used to all Filipino martial arts. When you do something, you got to go with speed right away. Speed, aggression, speed, right? So when I went there, when they showed me the first move, I was doing it fast. Like, no. My friend. They all my friend. You have to take it easy. We relax here. You do slow. Oh, why? Anyway, so I was wondering what was wrong with these lessons. Why is it so slow? And then later on, I said, it's only, you know, these are only the lower belts teaching me. These guys can kick all their asses. I was so arrogant in my head. So what I did was I booked the private with Hoist. And then what happened was, when I booked the private, the purple belt showed up. Hoist didn't even show up. I was like, what the fuck? So the purple belt starts teaching me. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just fight. Like, okay. This guy tapped me out and beat the shit out of me for 14 times at least. So the first time I said, oh, maybe it's just because I'm jet lagged. You can't catch me again. And after that, just kept going on and on and on. He armbarred me here, locked me here, choked me here. Like so many times. And I said, okay, thanks. And I was like so hard. I was so depressed. I said, what the hell? I'm useless. Totally useless. I have to find a way to beat this because this is almost impossible. This is so hard to do. So what happened was, when I went back to the Philippines, we had this World Cali Congress when I was with Sixto, Baste, John Malihan, Tuhon Gahay. All of the best guys at Peters here from around the world and from different clubs were there. From Canada, from Germany, everybody was there. But there was this one American who kept, who kept talking down to us and treating the Filipinos like basically like shit. All the Filipinos, you sit on the other table. All of us Americans, all the other foreigners stay here. We get the good food, you get the shit food. Kasi ganon. And then pag sisigawan niya kami, iutusan niya kami. He wanted to show everybody, oh, I'm the shit here. I'm the American taking, ordering these stupid Filipinos around, these fucking Indios. So I asked Tuhon, me and Sixto went up to Tuhon. Hey Tuhon, can we go in a room and beat the living shit out of this guy because we can't take it anymore? Huh? No, you must fight him like a warrior. Who of you will fight him? You must fight like a warrior. You are Piggy Garcia. Okay, I'll fight him. I'll fight him now. Okay, we will fix that. So Tuhon says, okay, we'll fix that, all right? He never said when. He never said when. So a few nights after, nothing's going on, me and Sixto decided to go get a drink. And you know what happened after that drink? Turned into more drinks, till we were totally plastered. And then when we went back to the camp, we had some sleep, about 3-4 hours sleep, and then Tuhan was calling us. Okay, what's happening, Tuhan? What's happening? Okay, this is what you asked for. Now you have to fight. Oh my God. Like this. So me, Basta and Sixto had to, shake off our hangover right away kasi matter of pride yan, di ba? I had to fight this big creation of Tuhan. His name was, what's his name? Major Timothy Wade of the U.S. Army or some shit like that. Anyway, what happened was, Basta says, take this. This is a mind supplement. What mind supplement? It'll make you sharper. Are you sure? Really, it looked like moss and it tasted even worse.
Okay.
So I drank it and there was no difference whatsoever. So it's like
may hangover pa rin.
Grabe. It didn't go away. It actually got worse because this time I was nauseous already. So now we're starting. Okay. All of the foreigners were like, oh my God, this little Filipino is gonna get his ass kicked. And then because of our training there, from jiu-jitsu and everything. So as we went in, whacked him on the head, took him down, and then choked his ass out. Happened in about like at least 7 or 8 seconds. And I was like, yeah. My head was like, yeah, fuck you, yeah. We finally got our way. And then after that, they made me go against this huge Mexican, about 200-pound guy, who also knew grappling. So we did some stick fighting, boom, boom, boom. And then he grabbed me in a headlock. And after that, he tried to break my ankle. The good thing he gave me his back, and I was able to choke him also. So that was the time I said, wow, this jiu-jitsu is really, really, this is perfect. I was able to beat all these monsters, these guys. And, I wasn't even, a good jiu-jitsu guy. So I did my best to train jiu-jitsu. When I went back to the Gracie Academy, I got my blue belt in 2 days. And then the next time I went back to the Gracie Academy, I got my 4 stripes in 2 weeks.
Okay.
But then that's when I had to stay there for the longest time because what happened was I couldn't go back to the States that much. Kasi that time, sobrang mahal. Even till now, sobrang mahal.
Yeah,
diba?
mahal.
From the hotel, everything, the flight. So later on, it's a good thing Fritz brought in Kazeka here. So I got my purple up to black with Kazeka. And, we loved Kazeka. We had so much good times with him. But then, what's this? And he would teach us, nonstop. He one of the best teachers. But we just, he was just, when he left, we couldn't find him anymore. Yeah. We went to the US to do a gym with Fritz, but he left him also. So we were all basically left alone. It's a good thing I maintained my friendships with the Gracie family. So I went to Hoyler, and then I was training with. We went to Hoyler's house. We did a private there. Of course, people. If you see Hoyler's really, really small. They kicked my ass all over the place. It's like, wow, my gosh, total. I really got fucked up. And I go, so Hoyler, where can I train with you? Oh, I don't have a gym here in San Diego. You have to train with my student. Like, who's your student? Saulo Rivero. So, before this, by the way, I was training in other gyms. When I trained in the other gyms, I beat all the black belts. Okay, I was like, yes, I must be the next big thing. Until one time, they made me spar with this huge mountain of a man, really, really strong. I thought I was about to pass his guard, but then he threw me. And then you know how he tapped me out? By putting his knee in my neck and pulling my head. You know that was? That was Fabricio Verdum.
Fabricio Verdum, oh.
Yeah. That was really messed up. So anyway, let's fast forward. I go to Saulo's gym. When I was there in Saulo's gym, tama, they were all training for the Mundials. So everybody there was like a champion in their own right. All of the girls were there. Mackenzie, Beatrice, Leticia. For the girls, and then all the other girls were like really champions. And then Lovato was there. Hedges, Fredson Alves. Cron Gracie was a brown belt.
Yeah, Cron was there. Pati si JDS ata, nakita ko may picture kayo. Nandun si JDS
yeah. There were so many, everybody. There was a blue belt world champion. Diego Sanchez was there.
Mm-hmm.
There were purple belt world champions, brown belt. And then there was a kid there. And I said, oh, I remember this guy. I think he's the son of the guy who's a training association representative like me. And then turns out he's also a brown belt world champion. That was Zach Maxwell. I had such a hard time with that kid. My God, the kid's so good. So needless to say, guess what? You know who else was there? Galvao.
Yeah. Kasi doon lang siya eh. Oh,
yeah, he was there.
Doon siya nagtatrain before. Like, this is something like not everyone knows. But I was like, he was just starting his academy. He was just looking for a place, and then while he was looking for a place to establish Atos San Diego, he was training with Saulo.
Yeah, he was there like every day,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd watch him. Wow, he was really, really good. Also, he'd have good fights. But then I won't just say who tapped who, diba?
Tsaka it's a gym. Just go.
Oh yeah,
mahuhuli ka naman talaga sa gym. Lahat naman nahuhuli sa gym.
You know, I was able to fight and roll with so many good people there. I mean, that gym just really, I had no choice because I was thrown into the fire. So I had to just really, really get good right away. Damien Maya was also going there.
Oh, yeah.
JJ. So I got to roll with him a lot of times also. Like, the guy is so smooth, so good. Of course, Lobato, Justin Rader was there. Basta, lahat ng who's who nandun. So let's say you're doing grip fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
After one guy, you grip fight, it's another superstar, it's another world champion. So if you suck, you gotta nakahiya, diba? You don't belong. So I had to really, 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 really do well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really thankful for those experiences, because that really like made my game go up. Ever since I was in Saulo made me understand more about jiu-jitsu. The foundation that he gave me was something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I never thought I'd be able to do, because I thought jiu-jitsu, it's still really, really hard. But when you understand it more or less, you know how to, circumvent, get your way out of things.
Mm. And then from there, I'll cut you off ng konti, Alves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's backtrack a bit in the sense na you were learning from great resource people, and then you're going to use all of these experiences, and then you're going to pass it on to us, your students. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, there's a difference between how we're doing things now and how we were doing things like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and after the formation of DefTac. Now, looking back, we're gonna go down memory lane ng konti. Looking back, how difficult was it to grow the jiu-jitsu community, or even teach jiu-jitsu, more so providing the information about jiu-jitsu to people who have no idea what jiu-jitsu was about? Like, kasi for example, tayo nun, pag may 4 na estudyante, tuwan-tuwa na tayo, diba? So now, how, like, looking back, like, how was the process? Diba? Let's narrate to people the process of kasi now people just see class photo, daming tao, diba? Mm-hmm. DefTac Christmas party, daming tao. Diba? Now they never realize, they don't know na before it became close to 500 students, there were at least 4 to 6 people showing up in the gym, diba? So let's share that story. Kasi I want this to be something that first time gym, like if you want to set up an academy, you want to set up your own school later on, our future students who will want to create their own DefTac chapters later on, diba? Kasi there will be a time wherein there will be no students, diba? The first few years, the first few months, it's the tough, these are the months that you have to gut it out, and just you have to stay the course because you believe in this, diba? So what is the story behind that?
Well, when I first brought it here, I brought it here this way. I was like, hey, you know what? I did jiu-jitsu, And I was like, what's jiu-jitsu? Everybody thought it was like, ay, sus ka ng pajama na mukhang gago, diba? Diba? Everybody, because of the Bruce Lee era, everybody disdained classical martial arts. Oh, that's classical. That's we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. So, may uniform? Ay, wala yan, ganyan. So what I did to do was I had to show it in sparring first. the arm bars, the mount, the triangle, I had to do all of that. Now, once I got that down, the other people would say, paano yan? Ano yan? Hindi man yata gagana kasi mas magaling ka or some stupid thing like that. Buti na lang, the UFC came out already and then we had the VHS tapes. Tignan mo yan, Yan yung natuturo sa akin. Ano yan? Iranian? Hindi. Si Gracie yan.
Brazilian yan.
Mukha daw Iranian eh. They asked me all sorts of stupid questions kung ano yung nationality niya, whatever. So, now I had to show them, look at how effective it is and look at how big the guy is fighting. So, pinakita ko pa yung kalaban niya si Ken Shamrock. Ang laki ni Ken,
laki.
Diba?
Bato-bato si Ken.
American boy na boom, boom, diba? So, tapos tinalo niya. It's like, wow, okay nga pala yan, Okay, And then the other people would go, yung sabat, na-try mo rin, yung sabat? Kasi si Gordon Gordo beat up everybody. Hindi ko na-try yan, but tignan mo mangyari sa finals. So, tinalo rin ni Hoy. So, after that, it was a little bit easier. But Jiu-Jitsu is something that it's very, very hard to establish, especially for us before. Kasi what I wanted was to make people warriors. It's not like now, you have the option to, for the exercise, competition, you just be able to have fun, community, whatever. Before, you come in to be a warrior, that's it. And then we had this thing that if we beat you up, you don't come back. Kasi supot yun eh. Diba? Wala yan. Never make it. So, we had this thing before because we wanted to weed out everybody also. We wanted to have the people who we were dedicated before. I think it worked before, and that's the reason why we have a strong foundation, 25 years. It's because the guys that we got initially were talagang, these were people who weren't exactly tough guys outside. These were the nicest people outside. They came in, we beat them up. They came back, we beat them up. Then I thought, okay, now let's learn. Because that's how I was taught also in Sarian, diba? So that's what we did. From there, people said, the Philippines can never be good in jiu-jitsu. You guys will never win because there's no jiu-jitsu here. There's nobody teaching you. And you guys will never do well. I'd go, ganun. So I didn't have a gym. I trained right here in the back of my house.
Yes, sa garahe.
I got pichon. We trained. We went to the States. I finished everybody. My first my first 3 submissions were under 12 seconds. My first 3. And then the fourth one, it took a minute. And then the last one, I lost in the finals because was my stupidity. But I was up by like 14-0 and I still lost. Ang tanga-tanga ko talaga. But no excuses. I lost, diba? That was a funny finals though because one time during the fight, pag ganun ko, kasi sobrang nipis ng gi dati, diba? Yung gi ngayon na magaganda. Our gis before were like cloth. But when I did this, hawak-hawak ko na yung pantalon niya dito sa dalawang kamay.
baka hindi pang jiu-jitsu yung suot niya. Baka pajama talaga yung suot niya. Diba?
So people always said that we couldn't be good. So that's when we came in. See, we proved it. And these guys were the ones training in the US. Ang dami ng tinalo. Parang, whoa. Oh, okay. Maybe these Filipinos can do something. Then the next year, we sent Richard, we sent Paolo, we sent Joey. Joey ended up winning absolute champion. He ended up winning his weight. Richard ended up winning gold. Paolo also ended up winning gold. So tuloy-tuloy niya. That started our tradition in DefTac. Now, we send you abroad, almost sure na yan, you'll be champion or become a medalist.
Diba? And then from there, it was steady growth, and then of course it led to the organization now, and looking, and then from here, of course, this is for those who know, you already know. For those who don't know, we're gonna discuss like the underbelly of Philippine martial arts. There's so much bullshit going around, and a lot of people will always say that they're the best system, that they're the best, they're the best gym, they're the best combat sports.
You know what I noticed about martial artists? This was told to me a long time ago. Now I firmly believe it. Martial artists have the largest egos, but are one of the brokest motherfuckers ever. So the ego has to get.
It's like Parang I was like when we were introduced and then we started training and then we would start fighting other people, then I go like, oh nga no, parang more often than I was exposed to that culture, and this
Mhm.
led to that quote unquote underground scene, diba?
Mhm.
So now I would always narrate stories about this, and now coming from you, okay, how would you define the underground scene back then?
Okay, the underground scene back then started actually very, very tame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, people, let's go here, let's fight, let's do
Mm-hmm.
this. Okay, bye bye. There are some other groups that um, whenever you try to establish yourself, and then and you're number one, the number two, number three will always do everything to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And before, since there was nothing organized, there was no internet, there was nothing. A lot of egos would just take over,
Mm-hmm.
egos and stories. So let's say one team lost, they would try to do everything para makabawi.
Yeah.
Hindi, babawi sila, in a bar, in the street. So, syempre,
Uh-huh.
pag tinamaan yung isa,
Bawi,
putik din,
bawi.
bawi. Pag binawian mo, babalik sila na may baril or no. Then,
Oh.
syempre, may baril ka rin, di ba?
Oh.
So, became, it's pretty stupid. But that's when you also saw the insecurity and the skill level of a lot of the martial arts clubs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the martial arts clubs would pretend that they'd be so good and everything. Oh, we're the best. Of course, every martial arts club, every martial arts group you go to will say they're the best.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the end, all you have to do is right now, research online. Who is the champion always? Who is the one who, diba, who beats who? Diba? Diyan na lahat yun.
Yep.
Before kasi puro kwento.
Mm.
There's actually this group before when we were starting the URCC. Ang sinabi nila, oh, ikaw ba yung magpo-promote nito? I go, yes. Oh, kailangan yung lahat ng kalaban ng fighter namin naka-helmet, ha? Ha? Bakit? Mixed martial arts to. Hindi pwede yan. Kasi mababasag yung bungo nila. Iba sumuntok ng mga estudyante ko. Wow, what am I doing? Diba? Puta yan. Naka-helmet? Sipin mo sila Sprillian naka-helmet.
Diba? Sige,
dapat ba nakababa yung visor?
Diba? Reserve natin sa URCC chapter natin yan. Pero like diba, this is the environment that we grew up in. This is the environment that was proliferating during that period. Everyone relied on urban legends. Everyone had to rely on stories of other people, on accounts that were unaccounted for.
True.
And hope we don't get in trouble with this, pero yun nga parang sige, sabihin natin allegedly. Allegedly lahat. Diba? So now at least kahit papaano when I try to contextualize and provide the story of Philippine martial arts history, I always point out that yes, there are great people. The number of great people outweigh the number of bad apples or the number of bad people or shitty people that composed the Philippine martial arts scene back then. But it's also deeply rooted in violence because exactly how you narrated it, simple sparring sessions or simple gym challenges would turn into something that is resulted by ego trips. Everyone didn't want to accept defeat. Parang yun nga, ayaw patalo, so bawi, diba? And then this carried on for so long. I remember there would be we had that rule, hindi ka pwedeng lumabas ng mag-isa ka lang. Kailangan may kasama ka palagi kasi gym challenges will always happen. People will challenge us and more often than not, laging talo. Tapos, since they can't fight you inside the gym, abangan ka sa iba, di ba? Abangan ka sa labas. And it reached a point wherein certain groups, certain teams found their notoriety in that. Diba? This is the most badass team. This is so-so. Eto mga to, okay lang. Eto mga to, supot talaga yan. Diba? Diba? Nagkaroon ng distinction na ganun because of these events.
I'm so actually, nakakaingit yung mga tao ngayon because they can easily just go to daming comps ngayon. There's so many MMA comps, there's so many jiu-jitsu comps, so many grappling, so many wrestling comps. Ang dami. You know what we had before, if you won, I would get a good story about myself. I would get a court case, and then I would have some scars.
Yeah.
Tapos babawian pa ako pag panalo. So,
Diba? Diba?
it was so nice. It was so nice now. I mean, you can actually bring your family, compete and everything. We didn't have that. We had to, when we go to these challenges, even if you're not fighting, you have to go prepared. You have to be prepared. Kasi puto later on, ikaw na yung makipag-away.
Diba? And the side story tayo, naalala mo yung Banff was open, diba? Remember that day? Pasok, parang kung fu master, may kasamang estudyante. Tapos sabi niya, sabi niya, sino ba yung Alvin Aguilar na yan? Ba't siya tinatawag na sensei? Bata-bata niyan. Tapos biglang sabi namin, magte-training po ba kayo? Tapos biglang naghamon siya nun, di ba? Dala-dala niya yung bata niya. Tapos tinignan mo na go like, Myron, labanan mo nga to. Tapos then they got to the ring. Then you told Myron, ano lang, tapik-tapikin mo lang. Kasi we were fine. And di ba? It happened all the time. Then you go like, then the guy just suddenly poked Myron's Myron na pikon. No. And
Hindi siya gumanon eh.
Hindi siya gumanon eh. So now these are and at least we get something like this to immortalize those moments kasi there were times din naman di parang lalapit biglang darating nagte-training tayo biglang may darating na grupo parang mga kung anong martial arts group sila lagi naghahamon ng sparring. So parang tayo ngayon, seryoso ba kayo? Parang wala man lang appointment, di ba? O sugod kagad, di ba? O sige, game dito.
We tell Red, Red. O,
Red.
Sige. Bugin mo pero wag masyado kasi ayaw gastusan yung hospital.
Di ba? We went through that so many times. Yeah. But there were fun times, di ba?
They were beautiful, awesome times. If I could take back anything, I really wouldn't because I guess during our time, we didn't have internet. We didn't have the proper venue to showcase our skills. So it was the street or the place where we talked about, parang yung back of the gym, so to speak. But it was like an area where people would just fight. And I'm just, this is the difference between the Philippines and the URCC promotion as opposed to all of the other promotions around the world. All the other promotions around the world saw the UFC and said, uy, gayahin natin yan. Doing this way before the UFC.
Exactly. Diba? So at least this is a good, people can, diba, may internet na, go check. Diba? The history of the URCC and the history of the UFC or any other MMA promotions out there. Now, that's the martial arts sport. That's a martial arts sport aspect. Now let's go to the other side, okay? For the lack of a better term, let's use combatives, let's use Filipino martial arts, your weapons and hand-to-hand combat training. Diba? How, kasi this is also another facet of you that not many people know. Kaya pag nakita sila, nag-a-arnis ka, they go like, ang galing pala ni Alvin mag-arnis. Sabi ko, naman, tagal-tagal na siya nga, nagturo sa akin eh. So, diba? How did that start? Diba? What's the timeline and
Okay, when like I said, when I was 9 years old, I was already doing arnis with my father. My lola was a practitioner also, but unfortunately, I never got to meet him. So I was always training with my dad. Okay, nothing formal. Whenever he'd go for a walk on the street, have his stick. Hey, show me that. Then he'd say, "This is your lola stick. One of these days, I'll give it to you when you learn how." So I always want to learn how. And then I did, I'd always train with him. And then I trained in college also with Lance Velez. Okay, so Lance is a member of Bakbakan also. What do you call it? He's an instructor there as well, one of the senior instructors there. He's a good brother of mine. And then from there, like I said, when we met Sixto, Sixto was starting with Illustrissimo and Pikiti. He was about to become an instructor in Illustrissimo, not yet an instructor in Pikiti. So
nagdikiti pa ata kayo. Kwento niya sa akin no, nagdikiti pa pero something happened with Dikiti and whatever.
What Sixto did was this is what happened. Sixto went to all of the masters. Talagang pinagtiyagaan niya talaga mga yan lahat. Grabe, lahat ng kapritsyo nila. Oh, do this, do that. Si Sixto laging biktima o si Baste. Kawawa si Baste. Anyway, but there were times na, what do you call that? We'd meet Tuhon, we'd train with him, and after training with Tuhon, we go to ourselves. oh, what do you think? What do you think? And after that, we'd get our friends in the US. What do you think? What do you think? You know, we'd always research. And after that, paano kaya? Sige, upakan tayo. Nag-upakan lang kami after.
Mm.
And then, you know, we'd always beat each other up. And then that's how we discovered it more and more. What I saw, okay, I think this is my honest assessment of the styles we've talked about, I've trained in, and then I'll tell you something else after. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
first for Illustrissimo, I think it's streamlined, the finesse and the streamlining and the shorter angles of Illustrissimo is beautiful. I think that's what sets it you know, apart from a lot. The way you grip, the way you hit, you know, it's so different from everything else. Now, for Piquete Tercia, the knife is awesome, but then what I like about Piquete Tercia is they drill attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Attributes meaning the power, the footwork. You know, they're really big on power. If you see, you know, real hardcore Piquete guys, they can hit hard. Now, when you go back to what do you call that? Uno, dos, tres, Regional of Ireneo Olavides or Caballero, they have different striking systems that I never saw before also. The boom, 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 bringing it back. So, you know, and then their training methods. So we really dived into that. So it's a good to have a working knowledge of everything. Now, as opposed to the real origin of arnis, okay? One of these days, when I finish my own personal research, I'll talk more about it. But there's you know, I'm placing down a lot. But one thing is for sure, there's no such thing as Filipino grappling.
Oh yeah,
As
for
much as
sure. Puta kalokohan yun. Kahit yung
as much as
dumog, puta
yes,
napakakalokohan nun.
dumog is just
Ah,
a term of wrestling. There's no such thing as dumog.
yeah,
I
do you remember the time that they were posting a lot of shit on social media? Then we said, okay, there's no such thing. We were very diplomatic pa, di ba? No, the grappling styles, di ba? We're not claiming it. The grappling has been there ever since. The father of everything or the point of origin is wrestling. Then lahat sila, hindi, dumog, ganito, ganyan. O sige, para madali, game na lang. Sabi, kayo, tsaka kami. Sabi na, di ba? Sa Facebook to, di ba? Sabi na, like, o sige, game. Ayaw nilang pumunta sa atin. So sabi natin, o sige, kami na lang pupunta sa inyo. Diba? When and where. I mean, that's diba? That's the culture. Like, okay, game. When and where? Because you're all spreading these lies and you're claiming something that is not ours. Diba?
True.
Hindi na nga, it's not yours, it's not mine. It's not ours. Diba? This is a continuing process, and then they keep saying that it came from them. Diba? So
True.
parang, okay, sige, game. Tingnan natin kung gaano ka-effective yan. Game. Wala.
No.
Then, radio silence.
It's a big hustle. Okay, it's because of the Americans, the Filipinos who went to the US. Siyempre, they taught arnis. After a while, wala na sila maturo. Okay, by the way, we have arnis. We have the grappling. We have pangamot. And you know, this is
man,
the bullshit pa I saw. This bullshit pa I saw na we have a Filipino art of biting. What the fuck is that? Ano kakagating kita?
Bullshit biting talaga. Is effective, di ba? Biting is effective, pero grabe naman yun, di ba?
Oh, the Filipino art of biting. Kinamutay.
Ano yun? Kinamutay, yeah.
Diba? So,
grabe yun. Okay.
But okay, so but in terms of empty hand, I think one of the best arts for street fighting is Sarian. That's what helped me a lot my street fights. I'm actually gonna show people one of these days how I dealt with multiple opponents because of what Sarian showed me. Ang galing talaga the way Sir Bob broke it down. And you know, this is something that's been tested like more than like 100 times at least by myself personally and by other people who are our students, and it's really just for the street. Now, I need to help people also when it comes to combatives. Okay. Now, combatives gives you concepts of how to train. Okay. But you have to make sure that you work on your attributes. Don't ever think that you can just do this or kick someone or pull their hair. Then they're not, if you go against any trained fighter, they will kick your ass. Trust me.
Oh yeah, Sixto said the same thing. Sixto said the same thing. Na parang
It's
attributes.
funny. Oh, if you don't have the attributes, then bakit? Don't think that you're gonna go up to a 10-round boxer tapos because nag-Krav Maga ka or some combatives, magugulpi mo yan. Hindi! Magugulpi ka.
That is so
You know,
true. That is
you
so
still
true.
have to train. It's the attributes that you have to train, diba? Don't think that, because he comes in here, sipahin ko lang sabay again. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to train your attributes and you have to master your reactions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that's a new technique. Even in jiu-jitsu, it's a new technique. Sometimes it's the way you react, it's the way you grip, it's the way you angle yourself, it's the way you approach the game. So a lot of people, even our black belts, I've noticed, they already have all of the tools they need. But what they do is they keep attending all sorts of seminars, online, whatever. But they forgot that in jiu-jitsu or in any martial art, there's always 4 steps: learning, training, mastering, and making it functional. Functional means you take care of your reflexes, how you react, how you escape, how you perform. Those are the most important things. So again, back to the combatives attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't kid yourself and think that just because you took this guy or learned this guy, you'll be able to kick a mixed martial arts ass. No, you won't. You'll get your butt kicked. Trust me. If you don't believe me, try.
And that would lead to, I mean, it partially answered my next question. I grew up in this environment, and this is what I've been preaching. The importance of acid testing. Now, coming from you, how important is it in terms of learning to applying?
Yes. Okay. Once you learn, okay, it may be in here. Now, you have to be able to make sure those reactions you worked on in practice actually happen in the competition or in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in real life, there's no other way but just to test it, right? Now, not espousing you guys go out and kick everyone's ass, but that's what we did when we were younger, and we had a lot of opportunity to do it before because there was no venue to showcase your skills. I guess the closest thing to that now would be, joining so many other tournaments here, mixed martial arts, there's
jiu-jitsu tournaments,
wrestling, grappling, and there's pancration. It's mixed martial arts, but without getting beaten up.
Yep.
What about that? So, I'm actually very happy that we're doing this because a lot of you guys don't know that Franco went up the hard way also as well. This guy took his beatings and everything, and then he never backed down. Everything that he's done, everything he has is all through hard work. Jiu-jitsu and all the other martial arts, boxing. He comes from a fighting family. His brother.
Diba? We grew up in the when and where. Up until now, that's what someone asks me. I'm like, okay, pwede. Okay, when and where. Diba? No more. No, wala nang ibang ano yung rule set, ano ba yung bawal, may weight ba?
Another thing also. Mm-hmm. Okay, when it comes to what I'm worried about with Filipino martial arts is the trend is the people who didn't make it in mixed martial arts, in jiu-jitsu, wrestling, go to Filipino martial arts. So they can say, oh, I'm so dangerous with my knife, or I'm so dangerous with my stick. Okay. You have to be able to be, well versed in everything before you make that work. Trust me. If you look at Sixto, you look at our other training partners. Sixto did jiu-jitsu with me from the start. He did MMA with me from the start. So
Sixto speaks highly of jiu-jitsu. Sixto says sabi niya, I mean, in terms of effectiveness and practicality, jiu-jitsu raw talaga. Sobrang, I mean, it's super effective.
Yeah, and Sixto is like this little mad genius also when it comes to stick fighting and stuff. I remember before he showed me this one technique. He'd show me a technique and I'd say, okay, I'm going to try this later. And then I go out and try it.
But
test it. You know what? It works. Or I come back, Sixto, this one didn't work.
Diba? So at least, diba? I mean, this is something that I hope people will apply and put this to heart. There's so many things out there already, diba?
Mhm.
You really have to acid test it, diba?
Yes.
You can't
Aside,
rely anymore on what people say na parang it's deadly. That's I laugh so much of those things. Parang no, hindi pwede to. It's too deadly.
too deadly.
Hanggang ngayon, I'm like, yeah, favorite ko yan, yung mga combat systems dyan na nagsasabing it's too deadly kasi it's not sport-oriented eh. It's not sport.
Lahat ng mga bawal sa MMA, yan ang ginagawa namin.
Oh,
Kaya,
yeah!
ingat kayo.
Oh my God! Okay, diba? So the value of acid testing. Now, from there, the establishment, the drive and the passion to grow martial arts in the country. This one, I'm very excited. Very excited to hear, and we're sharing it with whoever's gonna watch this later on. What gave you the crazy idea to create the URCC?
Okay. We had to showcase our skills some way. I knew that there are so many talented people that they don't need to be in street fights. They don't need to be shot at. They don't need to be stabbed. They don't need to be beaten with sticks just because they were training in martial arts. So we had to make sure we had a perfect place for everybody to showcase their skills. If my first instructor of Jiu-Jitsu, Horian Gracie, was able to make it work in the US, which is one of the strictest places ever, I said, siguro naman kaya natin dito yan.
Mm-hmm.
But, we were doing this a long time ago, but we just I had to see it work in other areas first, in other countries, and then okay, now we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard putting the first URCC up, though.
Exactly. That's what I want you to tell everyone. Like, how hard was it?
Okay,
Like, sige, let's go. Let's break it down. Convincing other teams, other gyms to take that gamble to send fighters to the event.
Okay, before we had to go to the other gyms, you have to remember I was an underground fighter and I was a street fighter and I was a frat man.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'd go into any of those gyms, there'd be one or chances may naupakan ako or may narinig sila or whatever. So when I went around and started talking to the other gyms, distrust ka agad. Sino ba itong payato na tisoy na mong gago dito? Nobody knew who I was anyway. So, the only people who knew who I was the people in my immediate circle. Mm-hmm. So, sino ba itong gago na to? Seryoso ba yan? So I had to just keep at it. And then there were other gyms who would tell me, nako, paano yan pag nagkabarilan? Sagot mo. May ganun pa. Others, I remember we had a meeting pa with this one group. Before we started the meeting, the guy brings out his 45 and puts it...
kilala ko to.
Sabi ko, wow, ang pangit ng baril mo.
Ito ba yung naka-shades pa? Yeah. Okay.
And then the others would be like, ano yan? Ako, hindi kami papayag. Pag natalo yung bata namin, gugulpiin namin yung mga yan sa labas. I said, I had to deal with all... Kasi, like I said, more and more, like, martial artists have the largest egos. I thought I had a big ego. Oh my God, you should see these people. These people, a lot of... Well, not a lot. Well, yeah, a lot. A lot of them thought that they were... they
were the shit. They were the shit.
Christ.
Yeah.
Literally. Kasi yung mga estudyante rin nila, grabe magsamba sa kanila. Talagang, grabe. Talagang, it's just so unrealistic. So, and then ito pa, before the URCC, there was a guy who said, magpapa-mixed martial arts tournament ako, yung unang-una sa buong Pilipinas. And then, what happened was, di natuloy. Okay, so they all thought, baka scammer ako or whatever. So can you imagine that, no? So lahat ng teams, inuulit ko, kailangan ko puntahan ilang beses.
That is true.
Now, there's two groups that really helped out, okay? Aside from DefTac, Yao Yan really helped out. Okay, one of the guys who was very instrumental helping me, aside from Master Napoleon, was Henry Kobayashi. I have to give credit where credit is due. Some people like him, some people don't. But he really helped us out, get a lot of people. And then when we finally got them together, a lot of them wanted their own rules. O, basta pag kami ganito, pag kami ganito, pag kami ganito. Ayan. O, das may mga special clauses pa. O, pag nagulpi siya, dapat pwede ako pumasok sa ring, gulpihin ko kalaban niya. Mga... Tapos, we came up with the rule na, sige, ganito na lang. Pag may mapaaway sa crowd or sa inyo, hindi babayaran yung fighter nyo. Lahat. So, for example, one team would have 8 fighters. One person in the crowd who's with them fights, lahat sila di babayaran. Paano naman yun? Lugi kami niyan. Ganyan. Make sure walang magsusuntukan pa kasi. And then I also, I talked to the police that time. Sabi ko, kasi syempre, usi mga lakad-lakad, di ba? So, pinakiusapan ko yung police, no matter what happens, make sure they stay there at least overnight. Para, it's a lesson to them, di ba?
Yeah.
So, ayun. So, finally, when we got that, hindi pa rin tapos. Ang daming for show lang. Laban ako! Game! So, tangina, the next day, alam mo, sabi ng mami ko, Kanon! Sabi ng mami ko. Or yung isa pa, ang sabi ng gago na yan, bibigyan ko ng kahihiyan yung pamilya ko pag lumaban ako sa ganyan. Pinag-aral naman ako. Daming ganon. So,
it was the family and then the religion. But when nothing works, it was the religion card. It was the religion card. So, ang dami rin. So, we had to shuffle. I think we had 19 fights Pero ang dami naming shuffle. Shuffle. Buti na lang, we had one team that brought in a lot of people. They were called TRACMA. Yep, TRACMA, Troubadour Ramos, Consolidated Martial Arts.
Yeah, there you go. Now, their claim is the father beat Bruce Lee in a fight.
Yep.
So, everybody was scared of these guys. They didn't want to admit it, but I knew they were scared of these guys. Actually, I also said, okay, if they hit Richard, because Richard was also fighting Las Pilia, di ba? Richard was also fighting one of them. Inisip ko, matigas naman yung ulo ni Richard. Di naman siguro magka-crack yun.
Diba? Pasaway So, pag matigas ulo, matibay yan.
But, ayun. So, yun, okay, that was first with the fighters. Next, the venue. Nakuha ko na yung venue, no problem. Okay? Casino Philippine, pumayag na. Tangina, may isang gago yata tumawag doon. Magkakaroon ng pustahan, mga sindikato papasok, underground yan, puta na. As in, ganun talagang totally sinira ako.
Yep.
Tapos, yung buti na lang, they called me, sir, ganyan, itong reklamo. I go, you know what? Basta I just said something, just see what happens muna bago kayo magsalita. Siyempre, sinisira nila kasi marami kaming publicity. Pero sa totoo, wala kaming publicity pa nun. And then, from the ring, also getting the ring, we had to rent the ring.
Yep.
Lordy pa namin yata rin yun.
Yep.
And then, siyempre, anong mangyari sa ring ko? Masisira ba yan? The worst part was, one of the worst parts for me was, nagbigay kami ng tickets. Tangina, yung tickets, hindi ko nalagyan ng number. So, tangina, I had to get it all back and I had to write the numbers manually. 0001, 00, 5,000 yun. Tangina, habrang hassle. So, yun, hindi sila, siyempre, di naman ako producer, diba? So, we did all of that. And then, finally, on the day itself, we were expecting 500 people to show up. Biglang, unti-unting, parang daming pumapasok The night before, si TJ Manoto called me. Hey, I just want to say that, congratulations for your event. It's going to be a success, trust me. And I never knew. I expected about 500 people, you, me, the other guys, diba? 5,000 people showed up and it was really, really packed. We had to turn people away also. We actually had more people there than when Manny Pacquiao first fought there.
That's
so,
true.
ang dami talaga.
The dungeon, URCC. And it really looked like a dungeon.
The first fight was Genies Baga and somebody from TRACMA. I went to a draw.
Yep.
But then after that, what happened was, yung ibang TRACMA, everybody from TRACMA lost, di ba? But then in between that, the crowd was so unforgiving, di ba? Biglang, trakma. Oh, ginagano nila yung trakma. There's this other fighter pa there, right? Before the fight, kasi may isa doon, dalawang anak at saka isang
tatlo silang magkakapatid.
Then the father yung isa.
The father ba yung isa? Bueza. Si Bueza. Yun. Kunento rin ni Richard yun.
May senior, tapos may junior. Kalaban yata ni Richard yung anak di ba?
Yung junior, yeah.
Tapos yung tatay, kalaban yung kapatid ni Kobayashi. So he beat him. And then, Mary felt sorry for them, grabe, because they all lost that night, di ba? But the Warriors, they came back.
Yep.
Yung kay Gary also was scary. Gary
Garay.
Walang may kilala sa kanya na 10-round boxer dati. Puta na.
Signature White Sando. Signature White Sando.
What do you call it? Siyempre, kung hindi ka sanay sa boxer and then you do something like this, bago naman, puta,
wala.
That guy's blood pressure tumaas ng 200 plus. After the fight, akala namin, sabi ko, I got first URCC pa lang,
May matideds na.
Buti na lang. And then we had guys from Baguio. We had Umumbaki show up, Daniel Foronda.
Yep.
Christian Wong was also there in the first one. We had James San Agustin from DefTac. We even had...
Richard was there, first one.
Yeah, Lespelia. Si Robbie was also there.
Yep. Diba?
Robbie fought.
And then right after, event was a huge success. And then I had one of my mentors in broadcasting, si Noel Zarate. Diba? He said, he narrated the story na parang he came from a job and then he was supposed to follow kasi he had tickets to the event. Sukat pa lang daw, traffic na. And then he thought there was an accident, and the following day in the newspapers, he saw that the traffic was caused by the URCC event. Kasi nga, the parking was full, people were trying to get in, diba? And it turned out to be a huge success. Now, let's talk about after the last fight, after the last bout, at that particular moment, what was going through your mind? After 19th bout, of course, you were super tired. Pero now, what was going through your mind na parang I actually pulled this off?
Yeah. Well, after the feeling of relief, I was so happy. At the same time, I was so tired. But at the same time, I was so proud of our guys because all of our guys won that night. So can you imagine all of those emotions, diba? And then I was so happy that so many people came out to support, so many friends, so many bruds. That was a different kind of feeling. And then everybody was saying, congratulations, we really have something here. And then what happened was, the next day, all of a sudden, all the press started fucking with me.
Diba? Yun na yun. Diba?
There would be...
From no attention to all attention.
Yeah. Imagine, there would be people calling me up at 6 a.m. I'm not a morning person. I answered the phone at 6 a.m. landline. Ito si Alvin Aguilar na sa balita. Oh my God, diba? Shit ka nun. So, tapos, I remember before this
phone patch interview.
Ganon. Talagang ginago nila ako. Grabe. There was this reporter. She's still around now, so I won't say her name anyway. But fucking bitch. What she did was, she had all of us arrange a mixed martial arts fight for her, for her channel and everything. Of course, we did everything that they wanted, diba? Then later on, paglabas sa TV, dito kami sa isang underground fight na gano'n. Talagang kami parang tayo. And that time, we already had may GAB license na kami noon, ha? Tapos, ang sabi pa nila, ito, mga mamayaman, pinagsasabong mahihirap. And then after they would say, ikaw, bakit mo pinagsasabong ang mahihirap? Bakit? Lumalaban naman ako. Sino gusto mo kalabanin ko?
Oh my God. Grabe yun.
Sponsors also. First URCC, binabagsakan lang ako ng phone. Ha? Ganon. Second event onwards, that's when we had our sponsors. San Miguel and Asia Brewery have always been there, even until now they're there. I'm very happy for that.
Diba?
They were the real reasons why our Filipino mixed martial arts and the mixed martial arts in Southeast Asia is still around because andyan
These
sila.
companies, yes, thank you so much to them. And after that, it paved the way for the other and the succeeding URCC events.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are. Oh, sige, go, Chief.
Then go.
Oh, sige, now in this landscape, okay. Fast forward to present times. What do you think are the things that we have to capitalize on and the things that we have to improve on in order to uplift fighters and promoting events? Kasi may follow-up question ako after that.
Okay. Fighters number one is this. Get rid of your egos.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of your egos. Get rid of your managers. There's no such thing as a Filipino mixed martial arts manager knows what he's doing. They all suck. What they call it? You know why? Because they don't have any experience. Usually kamag-anak, kaibigan, they have nothing. And then they only watch what they see on the internet. Wait, okay to. That's their only basis of comparison. So they don't really know what's up. So
who could be the best alternative?
Well, the best, as I've seen, the best manager ever was Christopher Roma. And he's not even a Filipino. But his heart is always here. This guy would, give allowance, training allowance. He would give them a place to train. He would actually get people to help them train. He would also train with his fighters. And you know what? He would never ask for anything. Mm-hmm. So those
for
those
the love
lang
talaga, for the love.
For the love of. Kasi now it has to be ganun muna because there's some kasi that just take advantage. There's a fight.
True. That's true. I've heard and I've seen this, like magugulat ka, may 10%. Tapos sabi ko, sinong 10%? Sa manager ko po. Puta, sino yung manager mo? Parang, di ba? Ako nakikita ko siya sa events. I'm like, what do these guys do for you? Diba? They don't do anything.
Ikaw yung papakamatay dyan Tapos, di ba?
Buti sana kung may ginagawa Diba? Buti sana kung may ginagawa. Pero wala Wala.
But exactly.
Diba? Uma-attend lang sila ng GAB meeting, uma-attend lang sila ng URCC meeting. Uupo ka lang doon. You're gonna sit your butt down, discuss. You'll probably stipulate what you want in the contract. Other than that, you don't do anything. And then you get 10%. And 10% is high. And then I've seen other contracts that were sent to me like in confidence. Nagulat ako, Chief. Sabi ko, putang ina, 25% yung iba. Sabi ko, what the hell? Buti sana if you provide something, you provide lodging, you provide food. Pero not even. Even if you provide those things, anything above 30% is ridiculous. True. It's super ridiculous. Anyway.
Exactly. So yun. So the second part is the reason why a lot of our Filipino fighters don't get there, no matter how much we get featured, because we have some sporadic success there. I'll just talk about the sporadic success after now. Number one reason why is because what happens is a lot of the mixed martial arts gyms here only have one instructor for everything. So kung sino yung head instructor doon, siya yung instructor sa grappling, siya yung instructor sa wrestling, siya yung instructor sa boxing, siya yung instructor sa MMA. Hindi pwede yan You have to have specialists. Like me, for example, I'm an instructor in all of that. But I don't teach all of that. I only specialize. Let's say the grappling part or maybe the clinch part, a little bit of the wrestling part. I don't want to say, pag sumuntok, ganyan. Of course, I'll give you some tips, but I will not be the one to teach. It's too specialized. You cannot do that. That's
sabi mo na kung paano tayo nagte-training Okay. Okay, good. Tuloy. Education. This is for the future crop of MMA fighters. Go.
The second is you have to work hard and understand a lot of the Filipinos, all you guys do, even in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, all you guys, instead of working on your fundamentals, you always try to watch what's in the UFC, you watch what the Mundial champions are doing. That's why you guys suck. Every time you go up to the international comps, don't you think the other guys have seen that and done that, diba? You have to come up with your own game. You have to understand the fundamentals before you create. Don't keep imitating. Actually, that rhymed. Don't imitate, create.
Gawin nating meme yan.
But it's true. I mean, I see it. I mean, sometimes people copy the way McGregor walks. What the fuck is that? Sometimes people try to punch the way Nick Diaz punches. But these guys are stylists. I mean, you cannot copy. Why don't you guys, specialize and work on your own, especially your fundamentals? Because sometimes, what's really, really wrong there is you already have everything, except that you don't believe in yourself and you don't understand your fundamentals properly. That's why you never got anywhere. Okay, so yon. The third also is ang MMA kasi. Now that we have amateur tournaments, you have to do all the amateur tournaments first before you become pro.
Yep.
We have EMAF now here. We have the PMAF. That's for everybody to have a good, solid amateur career before they go to the pros. Kasi, for example, pag basketball player ka, binabayaran ka ba para maglaro sa barangay game? Hindi, di ba? Ikaw pa nagbabayad. But that's how these guys became that's how they became pros. Pag pro, saka babayaran. The reason why a lot of the amateur programs for MMA don't do well, kasi yung mga ibang fighters, kailangan bayaran ako, lalaban ako eh. So they didn't get the experience. So imagine nangyayari is 2 fights, mag-pro na sila.
Yep.
Matututo sila pag pro. Wala na yan. Diba? And then also, I just won't name the promotions or anything. Like in the URCC, what we do is we make all of our fighters fight the best. Talagang walang luto. Even when I had the DefTac guys as champions, they fought everybody. Diba? We had Kaloy, we had the Wushu guys, we had Palayang, diba? We made everybody fight them. Now, right now, again, si Hoffman, everybody said na, why are you giving him Softman before that? Why are you giving him his last opponent?
Yeah.
Sobrang galing. Because we have to make them fight the hardest, the good people. I don't want any company champions. If we have a company champion, that brings down MMA. Okay? Now, there's some other promotions that went here, some of them are real champions, some of them are company champions. A company champion means ikaw yung favorite ng promotion. Bibigyan ka ng tomato ka na kaya mo. Pag ayaw na ng promotion sa'yo, papalitan ka na.
Doon ka na bibigyan ng nakakatakot na kalaban.
Yes. Kasi, di ba, there's so many good guys that can easily get there, di ba? So, you have to go this way. A lot of the people went this way. People went this way, became company champions. Hindi na sila. They never went good in the world. A lot of other promotions are good in marketing online, but it's really just fluff. They're not fighting, strong people. I want our guys to always fight, good, strong people. That's why we've been to the States already several times. We've been to China also. I believe the places for the MMA is US, Brazil, some places, Japan, and the Philippines.
I agree.
Yun na yun.
Tapos dagdagan natin ng konting Russia.
Russia kasi, the reason why I didn't say MMA, they have such good indigenous programs for combat, sambo, wrestling, freestyle, that they don't even need that. They just go in and kick ass.
Yeah. Diba? Lalo na nandito si Moshanov. Man, that guy.
Yeah. That guy Moshanov was actually the head of the technical part of the whole sambo in Russia.
Yep. And he's a multifaceted or multidisciplined martial artist. He's a world champion. So he really knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's... I mean, when we got the opportunity to be mentored by him, sabi ko, wow, grabe tong taong to.
We're going to have another series of that very soon. He's actually open to doing it online. Buti, you mentioned that. So we can get more inputs. Kasi people say, MMA, alam mo yan, lumalaban ako. Yeah. That means CBE ka, certified because of experience. Yep. You have to be certified. You know what you're doing.
Certified because of... Pero grabe siya. I'll vouch for that guy. I mean, those were... Ilang days ba tayo? 2 days, di ba? 2 days, na whole day, na almost ayaw niya magpa-lunch break.
Oo nga.
Di ba? Ayaw magpa-lunch break.
Ganun talaga mga Ruso, di kumakain yung mga yan.
Di ba? Sabi ko, 1:30 na. Sabi ko, kanina pa tayong 7:30 nandito. Ayaw niyo ba tayo pakainin? So, ikaw naman, sabi mo, ask him. Ako naman, gutom na ako. Nagtanong ako, are we gonna eat for lunch? And he goes like, why?
In Russia, we do not eat lunch.
Yeah,
when
we
do
don't eat
seminars.
lunch. Yes, diba? We don't eat lunch in Russia. Diba? In Russia, we earn our food. So we're like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Diba? And then, kasi
But
this leads, go, Chief.
sorry. Okay, that's one thing I think we lack in is the initiative and the work ethic of the Russians. And you know what? The only person I've seen with work ethic talaga, like one of the few that I've seen, or just an example, is like, for example, si Chris Hoffman.
Diba?
There be times na yung trainer niya wala doon sa gym. Yung usapan sila 2 o'clock. Hindi siya alis doon. You train mag-isa. So I asked him, buti na lang you're not tamad, you know? Of course, I'm also Swiss. Sabi niya sa akin. So, he said something like that, diba? So, but we have to get rid of we have to believe in ourselves. We have to have more initiative because I think we are the best fighters in the world. All we need is just proper exposure and proper mindset and get rid of all of the baggage. Because like, look, Manny Pacquiao, everybody's telling him he cannot do it. He couldn't do it. He would never do it. And look, even until now, he's a senator. Everybody said, pag senator ka na, hindi ka na pwede mag-boxing. Look, tangina, gumaling pa siya.
Medyo iba. Sobrang outlier si Manny Pacquiao. He's such an outlier. He's a different breed of human being. Ibang level siya.
Diba? And then, you know what? Every time and I've heard stories about this guy, there'd be so many people that, you know, did something bad to him. You know, he does. He forgives them right. Okay.
Diba? There's that ibang level of stoicism si Pacquiao ngayon.
He's got a big heart and, you know, grabe. I mean, I can't wait until he shares more of his mentality to everybody because this is what a lot of people need. There's so many people just as talented as him, even better pa, but they never had his mind. Like, can I give you an example? One of our trainers, one of our trainers, like si Vincent Palikte, wasn't even 19 years old. He fought in how many countries? He was so good, but then like world champion, he could have been way better. But there was just so many things going on in his life that, you know, pulled him down. So I think that's also the same thing with all of our fighters here. You know, if you commit, go in all out, diba? And gawa ka ng paraan. Don't say wala akong pera para mag-training. Kaya gumawa ka ng paraan. If you really want to, gumawa ka ng paraan. There's so many ways, diba?
That is true. Diba? Kasi kahit, I mean, going back to Pacquiao, I was like, okay, senador na, then he still wants to fight. I had my doubts. I would tell people hindi niya kaya, then all of a sudden he wins WBO and then he beats Thurman, and I'm like, wow, this guy just proved me wrong, and I'm super happy about it. But yes, I definitely agree on the mental aspect of his victory, of the mental toughness and the mental resiliency that Pacquiao has. That is something that needs to be discussed later on. Diba? Hopefully, mag-guest ko siya dito. Tatanungin ko talaga siya dyan. Like, how do you... Kasi it's very important. Diba? The mental aspect of training is very, very important. A lot of people don't really put much work into it, but it is very, very important. And going back to doing MMA events and the MMA culture in the country, the things that we need to work on, and this is just, again, like I've discussed this with Richard ata or with Sixto or both. Sabi ko kasi ito yun eh. Filipinos want world-class production, world-class fighters, but they don't want to pay attention. Diba? Gusto nila libre. Diba? So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out a way to merge the idea and make people realize na parang, okay, you want, diba? Every URCC card was super good. I mean, I could name like 1 or 2 cards in the entire history of the URCC na medyo pangit siya. Pero halos lahat maganda. So nagtataka ako, why are people still skeptic about buying a goddamn ticket for it? Given that they want to be entertained, di ba?
What happened there was, of course, yung 1FC when they came in here, what do you call it? Like sold out kagad sa Araneta. But people don't know, that's lahat yan libre. Namimigay naman yan eh, di ba? So they're just trying to do that to destroy all the other promoters because they think siguro na ang kita namin is from the tickets also, whatever, di ba?
Mhm.
But what do you call that? Our business model is always, syempre sa sponsors tayo. But
Mhm.
the reason why they did that, and they always do it in the Philippines, is because if they didn't do it, nobody would show up. You make people pay
Mhm.
for that. Walang
Yeah.
pupunta dyan.
Yep.
I promise you. But I'm just happy in the URCC that we still have people who always spend and always make it to go there.
That is true. Yeah.
We don't give away. You never seen me go, hey,
Mm.
ito tickets, boom, ano,
Mm.
diba? Because I gotta pay the fighters, I gotta have a good production. You have to be on TV and everything. The next few events, once all of this is done, I'm gonna do something never been done before. You guys will see. You guys will be
Pwede
very,
ba
very.
sabihan mo naman ako? Puta, maya-maya minsan, tulad doon 3-on-3, bigla na lang tinawag mo kami ni Joey. Tomorrow nga pala may 3-on-3 Sabi namin. Tapos nag-dry run tayo sa MOA. Nalala mo ba yan? Nag-dry run tayo sa MOA. I'm like, ewan ko sa'yo. pero,
ganyan ako kakabilib sa inyo.
pero we got so much flack for that. And then I check on YouTube, each fight was like 5 million views. What the hell?
Yeah.
Diba? I'm like,
And then it's so funny because what do you call it? There's other promotions now operating in the Philippines that have their may mga internet trolls na sila. They try to influence people.
Meron nga.
We know who you guys are, by the way. And if you just because you make a comment and then you don't really have a profile pic there, nothing. I mean, come on, man. Get a life.
Diba? Kasi ako, like at this point in my life, and since siguro it comes with age and we're all about talking the future, I'm so on board on the fact na I think, and I am doing it now na parang it's time to develop future talents, diba? And I see the importance of yes, whoever wants to compete, whoever wants to fight, let's train them. But I think at the grassroots level, there has to be a very good foundation for people to follow. Diba? I'm very happy that the URCC is here. I'm very happy that there are other promoters. Diba? There are other promotions.
There are a lot of other amateur promotions.
Yes.
There's a lot of other nationwide promotions that are beginning to help out in the system. And you know what? People think that all promoters fight. No, all the Filipino promoters I get along with. There's no problem.
Diba?
There's some
we have
international
to.
promoters that piss me off who I want to kick ass. Who I want to beat their asses just in case.
Diba? Kasi for me, more promotions, more events, more opportunities for fighters to earn.
Yes.
Diba? That has been the core value of the URCC. Why the URCC was created. Na we wanted it to be an avenue for fighters to earn money, make a career out of it. Diba? And now it's just a matter of conveying the message and making people realize that combat sports is a sport that we can excel in. When I was when I guested Sir Noel Zarate, I said one of the reasons why I attended your broadcasting school is because I want to shed light and tell the stories of different combat sports. Because this combat sports is something that we can excel at, not just in MMA. There's wrestling. There are so many good wrestlers. There's so many good amateur and professional boxers na hindi na-feature or hindi nakikilala. So I think it's a matter of providing the right amount of mileage and exposure and telling a story narration, so that at least, because once the news is out there, once information is out there, it's gonna be a lot easier to get support, get sponsors. Because at the end of the day, it has to be sustaining. Diba?
True. Very true. And then you know how it's done because you also promote your own events like Arte Suave. It's been a very successful event. Every year you hold it around October in the Commerce
Center Mall. Yeah.
So what do you got? We always have a lot of fun there, and all of us have, especially after.
Yeah, especially after. Yeah.
But I think right now, more than anything else, we just have to, all of us really just have to work together to make sure that we get our countrymen to the next level. There's some, believe it or not, okay, there's actually some forces who are trying to bring us down
Of
from
course, lagi
outside,
naman
but also
meron eh.
from
Of course,
inside.
there's always.
So, we just have to make sure that we ignore all of that and just, go along with our business. And like for everybody that wants to become a promoter or, to become better or anything like that, don't listen to anybody. Just
Mhm.
listen to what's in here and what's in here.
That is
Then
true.
you get there. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. You know why?
Mhm.
In the end, they're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to
Mhm.
have to look in the mirror every day and see the same person. They
Mhm.
don't do anything for you, right? So,
That's true.
diba?
And let's wrap this up, Chief.
Okay, brother.
History,
Yeah.
yeah, history, resilience, starting a movement. For me, that was the main takeaway of this episode. It was starting a movement. It was actually you processing, being guided by your heart, okay, and having the mental faculties and the mental resilience to keep pushing forward, even though a lot of people said no. You still, deep down inside, you really thought that this was gonna be big, and look at us now, diba? And for that, I am telling you, I'm very, very, very much thankful for. Kasi kung hindi, wala. Where would Philippine MMA be? Philippine MMA be if the first URCC never happened?
True.
Diba? It never.
Well, I'm also thankful right now is because what do you call it? We planted the seeds, and there's so many people, are continuing the movement. You being one of them,
Mhm.
being one of our black belts now in DefTAC, you're taking care of your chapter. You're taking care of a lot of people. People are beginning to, to follow, and you teach everything else that we've always the things that we've always espoused, and you're doing a really damn good job about it. And keep it up.
Mhm.
And more importantly, let's hope JR starts eating meat.
Patay! Nasa recorded! Okay, Chief, where can people find you? Okay? All social media outlets, Chief, go.
All right, my Instagram is Alvin Aguilar 111. Just feel free to give me a follow there. I'm always posting stories about what we do here, and then
Mhm.
of course my Facebook's just Alvin Aguilar. Just follow and then send me a message if you have any questions about training or anything like that. Just feel free, because believe it or not, a lot of people send me questions about training and stuff, and I'm always answering. Please don't ask me this question though. Hindi ako nagtitraining, wala akong gym, pwede ba ako lumaban sa URCC?
Yeah!
Okay? Don't ask me that.
May
Diba?
Next episode, magpagkwentuhan natin yan.
Oo nga,
May dumating
grabe.
sa gym nun, di ba? May dumating sa gym nun. Eh.
Parang,
Oh my God.
I
Woo!
what,
That was the best.
parang saan ako mag-uumpisa dito?
Diba? And I will add to the plugging, please follow URCC, URCC Philippines, URCC Global, Banff MMA, that's Banff MMA Gym, that is DefTac HQ. So that's the headquarters of all the DefTac champions. And what else? Any of the brands that have been supporting you throughout your career, Chief?
Well, I already thanked what do you call it, San
Sa-
Miguel, and of
uh,
course Asia Brewery. All right. Right now, I'd just like to thank. No, right now, none yet. I'll
Not
make
yet.
the announcement when
Sige.
it's there.
Ayaw nga pala. Sorry. May announcement.
Yeah.
Pinangunahan ko. Okay. And with that, that is what Coach Franco says. Bye-bye.
Coach Franco Says would like to thank the following sponsors for making this episode possible.
Knots and Crosses, the best quality gear for your jiu-jitsu training. Order your items on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Awon Coffee, for delicious locally sourced beans for your daily brew. Order yours now on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Spelled AWON Coffee. Gatorade, because nothing beats Gatorade. For the best DefTac Jiu-Jitsu training out there, check out the following chapters: DefTac Rockwell, DefTac Makati, and DefTac Better Living. Book your classes on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Read news about the local martial arts scene here in the Philippines. Visit Local MMA on Facebook and listen to one of my favorite podcasts, Destroy MNL. My advocacy is providing value to my community and helping others get better. You can help me keep making podcast episodes, video tutorials, and sharing information about martial arts, food, and travel. You can support this channel through my PayPal account. Just click the link in the description box to donate. Thank you for your support, and I will keep making content that matters. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.